Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to JR's Basement Podcast, emanating from within my office. And folks, this morning, I don't even have words for what I witnessed last night. The only way that I can describe it is, when you're driving down the road and up ahead you see flashing lights, you know that there's, an accident or something. And when you're driving past, you just can't help but look and stare in disbelief sometimes. Well, last night's presidential debate between President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden was an absolute car wreck. It was a train wreck. An absolute disaster. I've watched the debates since I was young, because back then, if the president was on or there was a debate or something, there wasn't anything else on TV with cable back then. And I've gone back and I've watched debates from Ronald Reagan, even Richard Nixon, George Bush Sr., Jr., Bill Clinton, all of them, Barack Obama, all of them. And I may not have agreed with the points that all of them made, but they were always fairly civil. Each person got to make their point without the other person interrupting them. Well, last night, and I'm going to show you a few of my favorite clips here in a bit, but last night you couldn't come away from that not thinking that both candidates were losers of that debate. There's no way that you could watch it and go, you know what, Trump clearly won that, or Biden clearly won that. Now, let me give you a recap of kind of what happened. The most civil part of the night is when they both came out at the beginning of the debate. They didn't shake hands because of the COVID. But I think Biden had said, "Hey, how you doing, man?" And Trump kind of gave him a nod and, "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" That kind of thing. And then it all just fell apart. One person would be talking, and they agreed, both camps agreed to 2 minutes, uninterrupted, on each question. And Chris Matthews, or whatever the hell his name is, had certain points I was like, this guy has to feel like he's a father watching his young children argue about stupid stuff. Because there were so many times when he was interrupting President Trump because he's interrupting Biden, and the other way around. Nobody could actually answer a question without the other person interrupting them. And, I've been a Trump supporter. I support him. He is our president. However, last night he came off as a bully. And he came off, to be quite frank, sounding like a jackass. But on the flip side, Joe Biden came off as weak, scared, fumbled his words, and it was awful. Like, I'm watching this going, the rest of the world is watching this. The President of the United States is the most powerful person in government anywhere in the world, period. And the rest of the world has got to be looking at this going, Jesus, what the hell is wrong with the U.S.? Now, you know that I've always been against a two-party system, but after last night, there's two more debates between the two. There's one between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris, as I like to call her. And right now, I can tell you, and I've said before, I don't want to talk about politics too much on this, but right now, a third-party candidate is more than likely to get my vote. I haven't decided who I'm voting for. I got a few weeks to decide that. But as of right now, a third-party candidate or a write-in is more likely to give my vote than Donald Trump or Joe Biden after that garbage I saw last night. And I can't be the only one that's thinking like this. I can't be. Go on Facebook, go on Twitter. I mean, it's ridiculous. These guys don't even have enough respect to have a debate. I put on Facebook last night, I've watched my 6-year-old twin girls have a more productive debate than these two 70-plus-year-old men who are acting like children. Mm-hmm. Trump is bashing Biden's family. Biden's bashing Trump's family. They're attacking each other's family. I could not care any less about what their children have done, what their family has done, any of that. I want to know, number one, President Trump, how are you going to continue? Because he has done some good things in office. He has. He's done some other things, like just stay off of Twitter. Shut up. Stay off of Twitter and do your damn job. But on the flip side, Joe Biden, you've been in government for 47 years and you haven't done anything productive. Back in the 70s, you didn't want to integrate schools because you said they would be racial jungles. But he gets a pass for that. Donald Trump won't condemn white supremacy. Joe Biden can't support law enforcement. He wants it to where when a 911 call goes out, and he said this in the debate last night, he wants it that when a 911 call goes out, that a police officer will have a social worker with him to de-escalate to de-escalate the situation so violence does not happen. I'm sorry. That's just not feasible. If you're not backing police officers and Joe Biden, who's been in Congress and government for 47 flipping years, but yet you have a Secret Service detail and you can't go anywhere without somebody with a gun, if you cannot support law enforcement, you have no place running this country. Period. All you are going to do is make us weaker, make us more susceptible to terrorist attack, to a lot of things. There's three things that I will draw the line on. Number one, law and order. If there's no law and order, you might as well call it anarchy and make you want to defund the police or whatever you want to do. It's anarchy. Number two, the Second Amendment. It's pretty clear in the Constitution, folks, the right to bear arms, to have a well-regulated militia. And number three, and I get the whole my body, my choice thing, but abortion. Now, there's very, 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 very limited things that I would, or situations, I should say, that I would consider, you know what, that's probably not in the best interest of the mother to have this child. Rape, if there's something wrong with the baby that it will not survive, it's just a guarantee that it will not survive, and the mother will be gravely harmed. That's it. That's it. Those are my three things. Now, if I look at the two candidates, Trump, for law enforcement, for Second Amendment, and anti-abortion. Biden, anti-Second Amendment, wants to take away your weapons of war, your AR-15. It's not a weapon of war, Joe. Number two, he's very pro-abortion, which, it is what it is. Everybody's got their opinion on it. That's just mine. And number three, he will not come out and say he supports law enforcement or law and order. You want anarchy in the streets? You know what's going to happen. So here's a few clips of our fantastic debate last night that was just an absolute, and I'm going to use a bad word. It was an absolute shit show. Train wreck in every way. Let's take a look.
I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm here standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left 2 days early. You would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to do is
Super Tuesday. You got
Look,
very lucky.
here's the deal. I got very lucky. I'm going to get very lucky tonight as well. And tonight I'm going to make sure, because here's the deal. The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you absolutely agree
Folks, do you have any idea what this clown's doing?
They call it Supreme Court Justice, radical
question,
left.
will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so
list?
All right, gentlemen, I think
This
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's going to pack the
unpresidential.
court.
but
We
that
have
is so-
We're not going to give a list.
We have ended.
And a lot more are going to die unless he gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
So-
Mr. President?
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me.
All right, so as you can see there, you got name calling on both sides. You got Joe Biden telling Trump to shut up, which, I'm okay with that because Trump needed to shut up at that point and let him finish. You got Trump calling him out on different things. I mean, it was just straight up awful. Now the next debate, here's my idea. I don't know who they're going to have as a moderator for this. But let's get somebody with a pair of balls. Chris Matthews, he tried. I'll give him that. He tried. But we need to have that moderator have a mute button. Period. Now, we've all been in this COVID era, the COVID-19 era. We've had Zoom calls and FaceTime and Facebook Messenger calls and all that. And there is a mute function in that. That's how we've survived having meetings with this. Why not give the moderator a mute button to where you can say, all right, you shut the hell up and let him answer. Okay, you're on. Go ahead and go back and forth. Okay, you need to shut up now and let him answer. Why can't we do that? Have me moderate this thing. I'm not afraid to say, hey, Joe, shut up for a minute. Donnie, Donald, Mr. President, shut your damn mouth. All right, you're muted. You're done. You're muted. He's going to finish and I'm going to unmute you. Pretty simple. Have me moderate this thing. I would love to do it. I'll come up with the questions too. And it'll be fair both sides because, like I said, I don't know who I'm voting for. So there's questions I want answered. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we are. It was embarrassing is what it was. It was absolutely embarrassing to watch these two men argue like little children. Absolutely embarrassing. So, like I said, I don't want to talk about politics too much, but it's the big news. It's what needs to be covered. And you get the cold hard facts here with JR's Basement Podcast. And I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. Guess what? I am American. America. So there you have it. We'll have another recap of next Wednesdays. In 1 week, there will be another debate. And hopefully it goes a lot better than what last night did, because last night was not good. So moving on. So yesterday, the MLB playoffs kicked off. Our beloved Minnesota Twins taking on the Houston Astros. And yet again, it was confirmed that Rocco Baldelli is the worst coach in Minnesota Twins history. Paul Molitor has nothing on Rocco Baldelli. Now, the Minnesota Twins lost 4-1 yesterday. And let me tell you a turning point in this game. In I believe it was the 6th or 7th inning, Twins have runners on first and second, no outs. Byron Buxton is at the plate. Now, Buxton's he hit 13 home runs this year, been swinging the bat pretty good. However, Byron Buxton is the fastest base runner in baseball. Rocco, why in the hell is Buxton swinging away and not bunting those guys over to second and third? And more than likely, possibly, making it to first. The game was tied 1-1 at this point. If you bunt him over, runners on second and third, 1 out, a pop fly to the outfield, oh, guess what? A run comes in to score. You're up 2-1, changes the whole complexion of the game. the whole complexion of the game. But no, Rocco would rather pinch hit Mitch Garver, who has been absolute garbage this year for Jeffers. Then in the bottom of the ninth, 2 men on, 2 outs. He goes to Wilson Astendito, or whatever the hell his name is, the La Tortuga or La Tortega, and one pitch, he grounds out to third, double play. Actually, there's only 1 out. Double play, first pitch. Now, I like Wilson Astendito, or I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I like him. However, I don't think he's the right guy to be pinch hitting there. But Rocco Baldelli, he gets all the credit because, the Twins have made the postseason for 2 years in a row, and they've won the division 2 years in a row. Well, he's a terrible, terrible big game manager. Now they do play again today at noon on ESPN, and I still haven't decided if I'm going to listen or watch that one, but the Twins have lost 17 straight postseason games. Can they pull it off today? I honestly think they will lose again because they have Rocco Baldelli on the bench. And it'll be another lost year for the Twins. Now, this year has already been crazy enough the way it is, but it's just going to be another lost year, and we'll be sitting at home watching the Yankees destroy everybody because their manager, Aaron Boone, actually knows how to manage. Rocco Baldelli does not. Now, if he can pull off a win today and then another win tomorrow and get to the next round and get to the World Series and win it all, I'll eat my words. I will. However, I see that as a 0.00001% of happening. Just don't think it's going to happen. Rocco Baldelli, not a huge fan of him. Just get rid of both coaches. Mike Zimmer, Rocco Baldelli. Get rid of both of them. I said it when Buxton swung away at that first pitch that was down and in horribly in that at bat, and I'll stand by it. But today at noon, the Twins host the Houston Astros in Game 2 of the Wild Card series. That is a best-of-3 series, so it's an elimination game. They've lost 9 straight elimination games, which is only second to, they've lost 8 straight elimination games, which is only second to the Cleveland Indians, who face elimination today against the New York Yankees. Moving on to one last subject that I would like to cover. The Minnesota Vikings had a little bit of an issue come up this week. Apparently, the Tennessee Titans, who they faced on Sunday and lost 31-30, they had like 3 or 4 people test positive for the coronavirus. One was a coach, 3 were players. I think there was a defensive tackle, a tight end, and like another special teamer. So I look at it 2 ways. Number one, Tennessee has shut down their practice facility until at least Saturday to do a deep clean and all that. The Vikings haven't heard word of when or if they're going to be opening up their facility. Might actually be a good thing for the Vikings not to be in the facility. Maybe they'll actually get their stuff together and have a better game on Sunday. Maybe taking a little time off will help them. However, this kind of goes back to my COVID-19, it's so big and scary. So if this disease this virus is so bad, how in the world does a professional athlete that has the corona play in an NFL football game, but this disease is so scary and so deadly? Now I know what you're thinking. Well, they're in great physical shape. They're physical specimens. They're the best athletes in the world. Yeah. But if it's so big, bad, and scary, and it's so deadly that we can't come within 6 feet of each other, how in the world did they play an NFL football game with this thing? Doesn't add up at all. Now, the Vikings, they've administered their test, and so far, the last time I checked, nobody has had a positive COVID-19 test for the Minnesota Vikings. which that doesn't mean that they won't, because there's the asymptomatic people, which I don't know how you can be sick and not show any symptoms. Last time I checked, if you're sick, you're sick. You're throwing up, you have a fever, you have all these things. But you can be asymptomatic and be big and scary because the coronavirus will get you. So yeah, there we have it. The Vikings will take on the 0-3 Vikings. We'll take on the 0-3 Houston Texans on Saturday, or Sunday rather, possibly Monday or Tuesday, depending upon how this situation plays out, because it is quite fluid at this point. But we'll see. We will have a Monday morning recap, or a Tuesday morning recap, or a Wednesday morning recap next week to talk about our beloved Minnesota Vikings. And we're probably going to do another video tomorrow recapping the Minnesota Twins game today, just to discuss it and talk about the future if they lose, or the next game should they happen to win, which I don't have much confidence in because they are a Minnesota sports team and all they do is cause heartbreak. Well, folks, that's going to do it for me. This has been JR's Basement Podcast, emanating from deep within my office. I wish you good night. I wish you good luck. Skull Vikings, go Twinkies, row the boat, Sky Yuma, and God help us all.